So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the beach and I'm gonna work on my book because I felt like my life was passing me by because all I do is work and write, and I love writing, but I started having this mindset of just really focusing on the publishing part of it and having writing be a means to an end. Hello everyone, welcome to the video. I am Jay, I am your host. If you're new here, I'm a literary fiction writer and I'm currently writing a book that I call the Shark Book. It's a book about, how do I pitch the new version? I used to say it was about a group of shark divers in the Florida Keys, but I killed off most of the characters. So now it is about two best friends / shark divers in the Florida Keys. I've been kind of dreading filming this all day because I felt so connected to my book recently, and I feel like something really good is happening, but nothing that I can really put into words. And so every time I talk about it, it just feels so forced, I guess. And like I'm trying to convince you guys that it's going well. And it's going great, but I can't really explain it. And yeah, but I want to keep you guys updated and I want to have this documented. So I'm prepping for draft 2 right now, but it's such a big rewrite, as I've talked about many times so far, that it's basically kind of feels like a first draft. Okay, so before I tell you what has been going on with my draft 2 planning, I'm going to send you back in time, don't be scared, to 2 days ago, because I kind of started this video 2 days ago. Hey guys! If this angle serves me right, you can see I'm at the beach right now. I am here at the beach. I'm going to work on my book. And this very beach is where I started working on draft 1. So it's very full circle, but I don't know where this clip is going in the vlog, but I just wanted to talk with you guys because I've been feeling a little bit crazy the past couple of days. And it has to do with writing, don't worry. Okay, so I'm moving. I talked about it in another vlog. Next year I'm moving kind of far away from where I live now. And the reason I'm moving, it's kind of a lot of reasons, but I just want to go somewhere that I feel like it will be very me. I've only ever lived in Southern California my whole life, so it's kind of scary. But yeah, I'm doing it because I think it will really benefit me as a person and as a writer. But I made a very big step in that the other day, and it's the first official step. Of course, I can still cancel it, but if I don't cancel it, I will be moving. So yeah, I did that the other day. It just started making me feel just very reflective about everything in my life. Like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the beach and I'm gonna work on my book because I felt like my life was passing me by because all I do is work and write, and I love writing, but I started having this mindset of just really focusing on the publishing part of it and having writing be a means to an end and be really, like, I've just been really serious about cramming and writing as much as I can. And I really love my book and I love what I'm doing with it, but it's felt just there's a lot of pressure on it and it hasn't been that fun recently. And I feel like it's because I'm just thinking about publishing, trying really hard to make it really good and make it publishable and focus on that. But honestly, let's be real. There's a big chance that someone will read this, an agent, and be like, what were you thinking? And then I'll have to write another book, which is like so fine. And I'm so prepared for that. But I need to remember that that might happen. And this book might just be a book that I write for myself. And in that case, I need to have a great time writing it. And I need to stop making it so like a job and just make it fun. What's more fun than the beach? I love being at the beach because there are sharks in the water and I just feel at home. So I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna write, and I'm gonna have a great time. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to the beach. I'm on a cliff. Okay, I just wanted to tell you what I'm going to be working on while I'm here. I only have about an hour, so I gotta get going. I have my first draft printed here. I was thinking the other night I was falling asleep thinking about my book as I usually do, and I remember this one plot beat that I had in the first draft, and it just was really good. And it doesn't inherently not fit anymore, but it doesn't have a place right now. And then I got to thinking, and I was really hard on this first draft. I thought I was writing literature when I was writing this, and I wasn't, but because of my high expectations and the actual result, I was really tough on it. And I was like, you know what, scrap that, I'm gonna try again. But I don't think I actually need to lose everything in here. There's little stuff in here that I think would be such a shame to lose. So I'm going to spend some of today going through here and just highlighting things that I think were great and just see how much of it I can save. So I'm doing that. And then also I brought my laptop and I might write a little bit of a scene while I'm here as well. I'm really glad I came here and I'm gonna write now. Okay, welcome back. How was the beach? I hope you had fun. So after that writing session on the cliff, I began to panic because I had my draft and I had my highlighter and I was just highlighting stuff that I liked, and I was highlighting a lot, and I realized that a lot of the stuff I was highlighting was nowhere to be seen in draft 2, and I really couldn't think of how it would even fit, but I was thinking about what it did in draft 1, and I was just thinking I might have made a huge mistake because honestly draft 1 was it wasn't well written, but it was well crafted and it was kind of tea and it had all these twists and turns and it had merit, okay? When I read it for the first time, I thought I hated it, but then on the beach I thought, oh my god, it wasn't that bad. Well, it was, but it had a lot more potential maybe than I was giving it credit for. But then I was thinking of all this stuff that I lost, and I was trying to figure out ways that I could fit it into draft 2. But I had a lot of draft 2, and I still have a lot of draft 2 kind of already figured out, and there wasn't really anywhere for all this stuff to go. And so I was just thinking, I'm gonna jump off the cliff that I'm on right now. And then I thought, violence is never the answer. And there's a reason that I felt so weird after I read draft 1 and that I mostly felt negatively about it. And I also, in a video, I don't even remember which one, but I think, oh yeah, in my I finished draft 1 video, which is the most popular video on the internet, I talk about how I didn't actually even finish writing my outlined version of draft 1 because by the time I got to the end, I had this sense that I wanted to change the story really drastically, which is what I'm doing. But just reading draft 1 again, I started to second guess all of that. But then I took a step back and I remembered that yes, draft 1 had some really cool stuff going on, but I have since outlining it and since drafting draft 1, I really solidified my tastes with what I like to read, and I want to write what I like to read. And what I like to read are stories that feel like they actually happened, and you're just like, they feel like nonfiction almost, or they feel like a diary, or they just feel like you're just reading an account of something that just happened in real life. Like, I'll put some on the screen that kind of encapsulate what I mean by that. And I realized even though draft 1 is fun in its own way, it was kind of partially inspired by Breaking Bad, that is not the goal for this anymore. Yeah, I don't even know where a book like that would sit or what. I don't want that book. I don't want to read it. I don't want to write it. So I realize even though there's some good stuff going on there, it's not my vision. And I also realized I had this kind of crime subplot and this shark gore situation going on that I really like still, but I want to write a fantasy book one day when I'm like 30 years old. And I can use a lot of what I have had in draft 1. I feel like I can repurpose it in some way, or maybe I won't even want to, but I just have to tell myself that I could. But yeah, it's not wasted. I'm sure I will repurpose stuff, but I do not need to cram everything that I liked in draft 1 into draft 2, because draft 2 is its own book, and the stuff that was good in draft 1, it wouldn't even hit the same if I put it in draft 2 because the context and everything is not there. So yes, I had that shift of, you're not writing that book anymore, you're writing this book, and what is most important in this book are the themes that I want to focus on. And there's a lot, but mostly I'm writing about childhood friendship and codependency, and I need to focus on what is going to build those themes the best. So after I got back from the beach, I went and I kind of beat for beat plotted my main character's emotional arc, and then his best friend's emotional arc, and then their arc as their friendship arc, basically. It just made me realize what I'm going for and what I'm not going for. And so now I'm still trying to figure out what I want to keep from draft 1. But instead of going through and thinking, oh, do I like this? Like, can I find a way to put it in because it's kind of cool and I like it? Now I just think, does it serve the themes? Does it fit into their arcs? And if it doesn't, then I'm gonna write for a couple of hours, and then my younger cousin's coming over to watch Girl Meets World with me. I'll come back to you. I have no idea what I'm about to do. I might draft, I might outline. I feel very type B about this whole process, and that's not normal for me at all, but I just have to accept it. Like, I'm Sheila Heti, and I'm just writing. Alright, I'm gonna end the vlog because I want to edit it tomorrow. Okay, is this angle good? Hello? Goodbye. The next day, I just wrote with Josie and Ryan. Ryan has a channel. I'm sure you know about Ryan. And then Josie is just, if you don't know who Josie is, check the comment section of any video on AuthorTube. Any video at all, she is there. Yes, it was great. I was very nervous because I'm just shy, but they were so lovely, and I read them the first line of my book, and I was very terrified. Actually, Ryan read it to me and Josie, and I mean, they said it was good, so they must be right. I don't even remember what I was talking about yesterday. Oh yeah, I was like, I need to not give up. I just need to let go a lot of stuff from draft 1. Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been feeling a lot more confident about draft 2 as its own situation, but there was one kind of observation that a side character makes about the friendship, and she kind of opens my main character's eyes to something which it didn't really take him that off guard. Like, once it was put into words, he was like, oh yeah, that's true, but he wouldn't have said it himself before. I was really liked that part, but that side character who made the observation is deceased now, and so I was like, what do I do? It kind of ended up working out perfectly, because that observation that the character made, the thing she said is still true, and so I just had someone else say it, basically. But I was worried that I lost that dynamic that was pointed out in draft 1, but then I was looking at what I still had, and I realized the core of it is still there, which just made me feel better about draft 2 in general, because I know I haven't lost what I like about the story, even though I've lost a lot. Oh, also, I realized that I was making my main character Sawyer, I was making his best friend kind of perfect, and I was looking through all the problems of the relationship, and it was all kind of Sawyer's fault. So I was like, let me go in and make his best friend like mess up a little bit. I feel like a lot of authors do that. Like when we like a side character, we don't want them to be problematic at all, so they're just perfect. But that needed to stop. Yeah, so I went and I made the best friend do something that's not cool, and then it leads to a fight, which is great because I mentioned in my last video that I really like when my boys fight with each other, and there still are fights in this version of the book, but not as many, but I got another one in there. So yeah, sorry. I feel like I said, I haven't been wanting to vlog because I can't really say anything. Overall, I feel great about where the story is going. The only time I feel stressed about it is when I realize how long it's going to take. And there's really no rush. I just really want an agent and I want to start working toward publication. So I feel just pressure that I'm putting on myself to hurry up. But, you know, like I need a book that I'm proud of first, and a book that I just love. And right now, the way I'm doing it, even though it's really slow, it's making me really love the story, and I'm making really good choices, I think. But it's just not that interesting to talk about online because I'm like, it's not like, oh, I wrote 5,000 words this weekend. Like, I wrote on some sticky notes. I wrote 3 paragraphs in the draft. Like, there's just nothing. Just unsubscribe, honestly. I'm gonna go. When I come back, I will have something to say. All right. Bye. I love you. Mwah.